Today's video is brought to you by our friends at Shipmate app and cruiseline.com. Shipmate app just rolled out a new feature where you can write a comprehensive review about all aspects of your cruise directly in the app. Just launch the app, click My Cruises, select your sailing, and start your review.
Hello, all you wonderful cruisers out there. We are so happy you're joining us for this one. So we've been diligently trying to get our next cruise planned, and a big part of that is budgeting. It's definitely not my favorite part of the planning process, but it has to be done. As we were planning, it occurred to me that there are a lot of expenses that we often overlook. We thought it might be helpful to share a few of the things we forget. Of course, this won't apply to everyone and every situation, but if it applies to you, then hey, we're happy to be able to help. We've done at least one video where we talked about other hidden costs. For example, gratuities, drinks, photos, Wi-Fi, and the casino. But I think those are probably more obvious by now and perhaps easier to factor in. All the same, if you want a more thorough look at the hidden costs of cruising, then be sure to check out our soon-to-be, if not already released, podcast on the topic where we really dig into the details. We'll link to the podcast in the description down below. So today we have 5 expenses associated with cruising that we just don't think anyone else is talking about. We're going to start off with one that may just apply to us, but I have a sneaking suspicion that a whole lot of you out there are just like us. Yeah, that's right. It's pre-cruise shopping. Come on, raise your hand if you're like me and you just have to shop for some new cruise clothes. Okay, you can put your hands down. It's video and I can't really see you. But seriously, a new swimsuit, maybe a formal dress, or even one of those hats that say something silly like, "Cruise hair, don't care." Or maybe you feel the need to tell everyone where you are. Yep, you're on a boat, baby. Well, it's a ship, but who cares? Say it with a shirt. Oh, and as much as I say you should never buy new shoes for a cruise, I still do. And what about all those other things like travel-sized toiletries, luggage, maybe some new gadgets, SD cards, or even batteries? It's all part of the fun, but the bottom line is it adds up. Wow, okay, I spent more time on that first one than I wanted to, but I really love shopping, and for us, this can be a big, unbudgeted expense. All right, I promise I'll spend less time on the others. The next thing we often overlook is pre- and post-cruise hotel costs. These are something that many travelers don't take into account when budgeting for a cruise. At easily over $100 a night, these costs can decimate the old budget. When flying to the embarkation port, for us, a pre-cruise hotel stay is typically unavoidable. There are other expenses associated with this stay as well, for example, meals and drinks. And let's not forget about the parking fees at many of these hotels. If you're driving directly to your port, then you probably don't have to worry about this one, but you will have to worry about the next one. Cruise terminal parking. Yep, it's an expensive thing, and it's almost always worth looking for alternative solutions. Don't get me wrong, it's super convenient parking at the terminal, and in some cases we do it, but in many cases there are ways that you can save money on this one. We usually start by checking to see if any hotels in the area offer stay-and-cruise packages with shuttle services to the port. Barring that, we look for cheaper solutions close to the terminal. All right, I feel like we've been talking about this next expense quite a bit these days, and it's certainly not the most fun thing that we discuss, but I don't know, I just think it's super important. I'm talking about travel insurance. Travel insurance makes this list because many people don't budget for it. However, it is one of our most critical investments every time we cruise. It's one of those things that if you don't do it, and you find yourself needing it, well, it can be devastating. Please at least consider budgeting for this one. Okay, last expense, and another one that may just apply to us, but I'm thinking more and more of you are finding yourself tethered to the digital world. Like it or not, It's a thing. And sometimes that thing feels like an albatross around my neck. But nevertheless, data packages are pretty much critical for our family these days. Data packages vary in cost from cruise line to cruise line. We are gladly seeing a trend for more affordable options, such as Princess's Medallion class cruises. However, this can definitely be something that cruisers forget to factor into their pre-cruise planning costs. And of course, there are alternatives to the ship's data, but we'll save that for another episode. All right, that's right. We're done with this one, but we have many more great episodes on the way. Leave your sneaky hidden cost tips in the comments below and check out the podcast I mentioned earlier if you want the nitty-gritty on this topic. And before you go, click all those happy buttons that help us out. Until next time, friends, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.